really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequence.
I really don't care what happens to her. Honestly, I'm not worried at all. Everyone keeps acting carefully on social media, pretending like they're being respectful. But what people don't understand is that there are real-life consequences for these little online stunts. Some of y'all do things just to show off for a quick $300, but in the real world, it comes back to bite you. Actions have consequences. The courtroom is supposed to be a place where everything stays calm and respectful, where serious decisions are made carefully. But on this particular day, that peaceful setting turned into something heartbreaking. The tension was thick in the air as Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert sat on opposite sides of the courtroom. Both were surrounded by their lawyers. Their eyes were locked on the judge, waiting to see how the hearing would unfold. But then, something completely unexpected happened. A small, nervous voice suddenly filled the room. It was their daughter, speaking privately with the judge during a special closed session where neither parent was allowed to be present. Her words were soft, trembling, and completely innocent, but they hit everyone hard. She asked, "Why am I only?" Those 3 words were simple, but powerful. They froze the entire room. The judge stopped writing. Teyana brought her hand to her mouth, trying not to cry. Iman just sat there, blinking in disbelief. It wasn't a complaint. It wasn't an accusation. It was a heartfelt question from a child who didn't understand why her parents, the people she loved most, couldn't stop fighting long enough to care about how she was feeling. At that moment, this wasn't about court documents or legal strategies anymore. This was about a little girl, broken by the people who were supposed to protect her. Once upon a time, Teyana and Iman were seen as one of Hollywood's most beautiful couples. They were always smiling on red carpets, dressing in matching outfits, showing off their sweet family moments. It looked like a dream, but now, things had fallen apart. And instead of headlines and rumors, they were facing something far more painful, a custody battle over their child. The courtroom had become a battleground, and neither parent looked like they were winning. Both seemed exhausted, sitting stiffly while their lawyers whispered strategies and passed around papers. But even before that one question was asked, something in the room felt heavy, like the storm was coming. And when their daughter finally spoke to the judge, everything changed. During the private conversation, she held a small stuffed animal in her hands and tried to be brave. She looked nervous but still managed to ask a question that made everyone pause. Why does Daddy get everything? Why am I only? That sentence, so pure and full of confusion, shook the courtroom to its core. Even the judge, who had stayed calm through weeks of tense arguments, looked visibly moved. Because for all the shouting and legal paperwork, this child was the one person they all claimed to be protecting. And yet, she was the one who felt lost and left behind. From that moment on, the judge's tone changed completely. No more playing referee. No more pretending this was just another case. He looked at both Teyana and Iman and said, "This is not about you anymore. It's about her. And she's hurting." The judge was firm. He made it clear that both parents were responsible for the pain their daughter was feeling. She didn't feel loved by both. She felt like she wasn't enough, and that, he said, was unacceptable. Teyana started crying quietly, staring down at her hands. Iman sat frozen, jaw tight, avoiding eye contact. The judge wasn't concerned about who looked more stable on paper anymore. He was focused on the damage that had already been done. It wasn't about proving who was the better parent. It was about picking up the pieces of a broken child's heart. Iman had been pushing hard for full custody for weeks, saying he was the more stable parent. His legal team had painted him as calm, grounded, and dependable. But after that question from his daughter, none of that mattered. The judge reminded everyone, being stable doesn't mean doing it alone. A child needs both parents. A safe home is built by love, not just by control. Teyana's lawyers stepped in next with shocking claims. They said Iman had been actively keeping Teyana away from her child. According to them, he wasn't just making things difficult, he was shutting her out completely. They said she had come to visit, stood outside his home for over an hour, and he refused to let her in. The gate never opened. She wasn't trying to just see her child, the lawyer said, their voice rising. He was trying to erase her. Gasps filled the courtroom. Teyana didn't say a word, but her eyes were full of pain. Iman immediately denied everything, shaking his head in disbelief. But the energy in the room had already shifted. The damage was done, and it wasn't in Iman's favor anymore. Outside the courtroom, things got even more emotional. A blurry video began circulating online. It featured a child's voice, soft and full of sadness, saying, "I love mommy and daddy. Why can't they just stop fighting?" No one confirmed who it was, but fans believed it was their daughter. And that was enough. The video spread quickly across TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. People didn't just watch it, they reacted. Thousands of comments poured in, begging both parents to make peace. "Please, for her sake, end this fight," one person wrote. Others tagged Teyana and Iman directly, urging them to come together for their daughter. What started as a celebrity custody battle had now become a public outcry. People weren't taking sides anymore. They were focused on the child, who was caught in the middle of a painful mess. Even celebrities began speaking out. Taraji P. Henson was one of the first. She tweeted, "This baby didn't ask for this." Her words hit hard and were quickly shared across social media. More entertainers followed, each echoing the same concern. The child was suffering, and it had to stop. The spotlight moved away from Teyana and Iman's personal drama. It wasn't about choosing sides anymore. It was about protecting an innocent girl who was clearly hurting. For once, fans who had been arguing online agreed. This little girl didn't deserve any of it. The internet, usually so divided, found unity in one thing: the need to protect her. Later that evening, as the headlines and speculation continued to grow, Teyana finally broke her silence. She posted on Instagram, not with pictures or filters or background music, just a black screen with plain white text. She didn't speak in anger. Her words weren't dramatic. She just wanted people to know that she was still a mother, and her daughter was still her heart. And no matter what had happened, she wasn't giving up. Right when Remy turned to leave, flipping her hair like it was her final performance, Papoose finally blinked. After standing like a statue, he moved, but not toward his new wife. He walked toward Remy. Yes, you read that right. He didn't go to Clarissa to comfort her or explain. He went to Remy. And according to a guest who claimed to be an expert at lip reading thanks to reality TV, Papoose whispered, "I told you I wasn't ready. They pushed this wedding on me." They being who? Clarissa? Her management? The wedding planner? There had already been rumors that Clarissa was rushing to marry him before more rumors about Remy could resurface. Now it looked like the ceremony might have been more of a trap than a celebration. Oh, and that envelope Remy dropped? Papoose picked it up. He didn't throw it away or hand it to Clarissa. He held onto it like it was something precious. Meanwhile, Clarissa was standing there, stunned, one eyelash hanging, trying to understand how her big day turned into a reality show meltdown. Bridesmaids were crying. Someone from Papooses family yelled, "This is why you don't do weddings with industry people." Even the violinist, packing up his instrument, mumbled, "I can't believe I played for this mess." Just when things couldn't get any worse, Clarissa's cousin, let's call her Kendra, charged at Remy. It turned into a full-on Flint versus Bronx showdown, but Remy was ready. She moved like it was rehearsed and calmly said, "Touch me, and I'll drop more screenshots than an Android user." Iconic. Security finally came in 40 minutes late, out of breath, and completely overwhelmed. But let's be real. There's no calming a storm like Remy Ma. That's not a scene you diffuse. That's a moment you survive. And that's how what should have been a peaceful, private wedding became one of the most chaotic celebrity showdowns of the year. The story is still developing. But one thing's for sure: nothing about this day will ever be forgotten. Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert were once seen as the perfect couple, matching outfits, adorable family photos, red carpet events filled with smiles. But now, that picture-perfect love story has fallen apart in the most painful way, inside a courtroom in front of lawyers, judges, and cameras. What was once a private struggle between two parents has turned into a very public and emotional battle that's no longer just about them, it's about their child. Teyana recently broke her silence online with a simple yet emotional message. It wasn't a flashy post. No selfies, no music, no dramatic visuals. Just black background with white text that read, "Fighting for love, fighting for peace, fighting for her." Those words hit hard for many. Some people saw it as a mother pouring her heart out, speaking from a place of deep pain. Others questioned whether it was a strategic move, an attempt to gain public sympathy in the middle of a legal and emotional storm. The internet responded fast. Fans flooded the comment section with mixed reactions. "We see you. We feel your pain," one person wrote, trying to show support. But not everyone felt the same. Another user said, "Then stop making it about you. This is about your daughter." That single sentence captured the mood of the moment. People were split, some sympathizing with Teyana's pain, others frustrated with how public the drama had become. The tension didn't stop.